Hello and welcome back to On the Workbench. Today we're taking a look at a pair of work pants from Ariat. This is part of their workwear line known as the Rebar line, the so-called made tough for workwear. This is their entrant into the workwear marketplace. They've been in this market for just a little bit, not that long as of June of 2020. We're talking within the last year, they've begun to make a steady press into the workwear environment. And so one of the items they've come out with is a line of pants. This is their Rebar line of pants, and this was provided courtesy of Ariat for this review. Thanks to Ariat for doing that. And so let's take a look at these pants. These were advertised as made tough. And so these are also labeled as lightweight DuraStretch pants. And so the first thing when I hear the phrase DuraStretch that makes me want to do is check the waist. And yes, there is a little bit of stretch in these pants. Now, one of the things whenever I've shopped for jeans lately that I've personally have been annoyed with is it's been harder and harder for me to find a normal pair of jeans. I don't want stretch pants, pants that feel like I'm wearing sweatpants. But these do have a little bit of stretch to them, which begins to tip my radar off about that sort of feeling, but it's not that much. It's just enough. And thinking about the workwear part of this, that a little bit of stretch I might be able to live with because it might help ensure the longevity of this product. So as we're looking around here, the first thing I also notice here is we got triple stitching all the way around the pockets, around the waist. Our belt loops are not triple stitched. In the front, we've got triple stitching around the pockets. There are no metal rivets on these pockets. There is a metal button up here. And then this little coin pocket here is actually fairly useful. As you can see, I can fit my hand down there. That goes to about here. Whereas the regular pant goes down a little bit farther for the regular pocket. But that is actually a functional pocket. In my opinion, I don't know if you ever use that little pocket in the corner of your jeans. I don't ever really find a use for it. But then there's also another clever little hook right here and a little loop right here that you could hook on something else and be able to tuck away in this pocket. Perhaps you've got a pair of keys or a set of keys that you could clip onto here and drop in your pocket, or something else. That I think that's a really clever idea for what they've done with that. And then on the right pant leg is another pocket right along the side. And so this has one pocket on here and a pocket that is sized that you could fit a pen or a pen light easily down. There is no hammer loop on these pants, but there is this extra pocket here that would be perfect for a cell phone and a pen. It also could be perfect for a notepad, like a waterproof notepad, and a pen light, or something else that you want to put down in these pockets here. Again, I think that's a really clever idea on a pocket. The other side does not have that. You can see there's the little Ariat branding on a diagonal on the pocket right there. And if we look at the left hip, we can see the Ariat branding again. We've got a little bit of stitching about halfway across. I know different firms will have different ways that they try to brand their back pockets. I'm not sure how much people actually pay attention to that, but that's just what the marketplace has. If we look at the bottom of these pants are hemmed at the bottom based on the size. You can see there's a single stitch around there and the triple stitch on the inside and outside. Now let's take a look at the tag on these pants. We can see that these are 98% cotton. Just for reference, a pair of typical jeans, at least standard jeans is what I would call standard, are 100% cotton. And this has 2% spandex, which is what's accounting for that little bit of stretch. And then we also have on the tag here, made in Nicaragua, machine wash, cold with light colors, do not bleach, tumble dry low, warm iron if necessary, do not use starch. You know, I also like the fact that the tag actually has the size very prominently labeled in here, that hopefully that will make it easier to be able to remember what size your jeans are. That every now and then for me, whenever I need to buy a new pair of pants, I know my wife thinks this is kind of funny. I usually just like to look at the number and then just order the same pair again and again. I'm personally a creature of habit. That if something works for me, I'm not prone to change it. You know, but sometimes it's, I forget, well, what size am I? What size did I get last time? I can't ever always keep that straight. And so hopefully having a very prominently sized tag there make it easier for me to know what size to order next time that I would need to get another pair of pants. So we got the other usual tags here that you'd be able to get with these pants. And then in the zipper, in the crotch area here, like I mentioned, there's the button up here at the top. And then there's even tucked away, built to last, right down the inside of the zipper. Just a little hidden Easter egg, if you will, that most people may not notice, but there you go. There's that extra little feature there. I would not advise you to go showing that off to everyone when you're wearing the jeans. I think it's kind of funny, you know, and it gives me a little laugh here just looking at it. You know, I can see there's just a few stray threads here from the manufacturing process. Nothing that I would say is that out of the ordinary with a brand new pair of pants that you would find, well, with any other pair of pants. In terms of the sizing on these pants are rated as low rise, stretch leg, hard working pants. So the low rise part definitely caught my attention because one of the other varieties of work pants that I've played with in and out that I've never really been satisfied with have fit me more like, I guess we'll call them dad jeans for lack of a better phrase, that seem to come up higher on me than what I would have otherwise preferred. And so what you're looking at here on the right is a pair of Wrangler Riggs work pants. And so these have worked well. They're definitely heavy duty. So sometimes I find myself hesitating to reach for these pants when it gets too hot outside, that these are just very heavy. Now I know Wrangler's got a couple different weights of these jeans, and this is their slightly more heavier version of it. But the fitment on how these actually fit is what's made me kind of timid about wearing them. Because like I mentioned before, to me, I feel like these fit like dad jeans. As in, I feel like the waist comes up a little bit higher than I would otherwise prefer. So what I want to do a quick comparison here is just to look at the waist on these pants. All right, so I've got these lined up hopefully from the bottom of the main crotch joint up, and you can see where these Ariat pants are about an inch lower, maybe an inch and a half lower, almost one whole width of the top section of the pants. And so I'm hopeful that that'll provide me a better fit. So I've got out the kitchen scale here just for a quick comparison in terms of weight. I've got 3 different pants here just to be able to show you. First, I want to start with a pair of conventional Levi jeans. This is a style 559. These are all 36 by 32 pants. And so the Levi's jeans check in at 1.19 pounds. Let's scale re-0. All right, so here's the Ariat jeans on the scale. They're checking at 1.336 pounds. So just slightly heavier than the regular pair of Levi's. Now that pair of Levi's jeans, I've had that pair for maybe a year or so. And after a few washes, your pants are generally going to lose some mass, and this still has some tags on it. Now, let's compare that to the Wrangler Riggs. Now, I know there's several varieties of these Riggs style pants, and this is checking in at 2.03 pounds, certainly the heaviest of all these pants. Now, whether heavier means better, that's a whole different discussion. I don't know. My first inclination is going to be, it depends. All right, so you can see how these pants fit around the boots. These lay over this pair of Ariat Endeavor boots very nicely. There's a nice little bit of slack and room in these pants and around the knee to be able to move. And they do cover all the way down. They might be just a touch longer than maybe I would go for, but we'll see how they do after we give them a wash. All right, we can see here how these pants fit, that they've got a nice room in the pocket here that I can fit my hand. All right, so if we look at the side pocket here on the right side, you can see I can take a small tape measure and clip that on that little extra hook here, and then easily tuck that away. There's plenty of room if you've got a handful of shop keys or something that you want to keep on a carabiner and drop right in there separate from everything else. And the pocket down here, I can fit, I've got a utility knife, pair of pliers, and a marker. Now there's obviously a lot of things that you could swap out for that. I could put in a screwdriver and take out the pliers. It might be a little bulky to have the screwdriver in there, but it still works. One thing that does not quite work in that pocket here is a non-contact voltage tester. That doesn't quite fit in there very well. But you could take a pen light and then drop a pen light in, just like that. And then you've got your pen light there. Or perhaps another favorite idea that you could do is you could put a 10mm wrench. And that also fits in there just fine. So you could always have that 10mm wrench on you at all times if you're working on a car. Obviously, make sure you don't scratch up anything with whatever you put there. And so there's lots of possibility and versatility with what you'd want to do with this pocket. Now, one of the things that I think stands out to me is that since I'm right-handed, this makes sense to me. I'd put it on my right side. What I'm kind of surprised I didn't do is make one on the left side so that if you're left-handed, you could have access to whatever tools you want over there and then just have it on both legs. That to me would make a lot of sense. So then to be ambidextrous pants, if you can say that. But the way this is set up here, I'd have to say that these are certainly right-handed pants. It's kind of a weird thing to be able to think about, but I'm right-handed and I know a lot of people are, but for those of you that are left-handed, I can certainly see that maybe this pocket would be less useful to you. Like I'd said before, on the other side, there is nothing. There's no hammer hook or anything else over here. So it does kind of tuck out of the way. You got a nice clean look on the left side. And then the right side, you've got this pocket. If we empty it out of all the junk that I've got in there, the pocket will then fold flat and sit right up against the pant leg. Obviously, the more you put stuff in there, the more you're going to see creases and lines in that pocket. And it's going to make it a little more prominent. But it doesn't have that weird folded over look that never quite lays right that you'd find with pants that have that hammer loop. And now to find out how well these last and some more thoughts about these, I'm going to wear these for a couple weeks. I'm going to wash them and I'll check back in. But you're not going to have to wait that long thanks to the power of video editing that we'll be able to jump right there to see how these work and perform and additional thoughts after wearing these for a bit. Now I want to add on to what I showed you before. I've had these pants now for about 5 weeks and have been wearing them off and on throughout those 5 weeks. I've sweated through these a number of times and got these pretty dirty, put them through the wash. And I want to show you how they've held up here and offer you some more thoughts. So overall, I'm very pleased with the way these pants have held up. After washing these a handful of times, the pocket here has shown on the right side has held up and has shown, and it's stretched a little bit. But one of the big things I've noticed through this year is I've been very happy with how the little bit of the stretch in the leg has felt. I was a little concerned, as you heard earlier in this video, about how I was going to feel about that. I actually think after wearing this now, it's actually felt pretty good. That when I've bent down to pick up stuff, that there's been that little bit of stretch has been almost perfect so that I'm not tugging on the pants too much and it just has a nice comfort feel to it. The one thing I will say about that stretch is that in the knees, when I've kneeled down on my garage floor working on my car, is I have been able to feel as it's stretched, it makes the fabric just a little bit thinner and I could feel even the slightest bit of debris on my knee on the garage. Now, one thing I should add is that Ariat does sell what they refer to as a double front version of this that has an extra thickness of material if you're going to be on your knees quite a bit. So that's another alternative that you may want to consider if you find yourself working on your knees in a lawn and garden situation, in a garage situation, or otherwise. And so with the temperatures in the Midwest and the humidity being substantially high over the last couple weeks, and being able to sweat through these pants, it's been as comfortable as you're going to get for wearing pants when it's 90 degrees outside. And I've been very pleased with it, that they've held up well. The tag indicates that you need to wash it in cold water. In my opinion, when it comes to work pants, I'm not going to baby work pants. And so I've washed this with just everything else, with a normal wash cycle in my washing machine. And there's been no problem with it. You can see there's been a little bit here at the bottom. There's been a little bit of, I'm not sure exactly what that's from some dirt that I just couldn't get out. But again, they're work pants. I expect them to get dirty. I expect them to get dinged, and that they're not going to be pretty, and they're not going to end up in the category of stuff you'd wear for your Sunday best. A couple other little things that I picked up on here after wearing these for a while. I really appreciate the lack of rivets up here for automotive work. However, if you are working around cars, you need to pay attention to the metal button here at the top, that you don't want to scratch the finish on a car with a metal button here. And so if I was wearing these for full-time automotive use, I would need to either make sure I've got an appropriate belt on that hides that metal button, or remove that and replace it with a sewn-on button. In my opinion, these pants would be just as effective and far more versatile if you got rid of the metal button here and replaced it with a more traditional, slightly plastic rubber button that would be non-marring. However, obviously your mileage may vary based on your application for how you feel about the button there. But otherwise, if you didn't have this, these would be perfect for automotive use because of the lack of the rivets on the pockets, nice and protective around the finish of your vehicles. So for the price that you pay for these, that these retail for about $45, I think they've been worth every penny of it. Now, obviously, this was supported by Ariat, and so take my opinion as you will, but I would certainly spend my own money on these pants. They've been very comfortable, they've held up well, and I've really liked them. So if you're interested in picking up a pair of pants like these, I'll put a link below that if you sign up for the Ariat mailing list, you can get 10% off your first order. And so that would knock these down instead of $45 to $40.50. There's a free shipping promotion going on right now in July 2020. If you're watching this later, that promotion may or may not still be around. And if you look on Amazon, just for comparison, these are not sold through Amazon.com. Even though you can buy them there, they're fulfilled by a third-party merchant. And so if you're interested in picking these up, you can get the 10% off by going through Ariat, and you'll save a few extra bucks for the exact same price you'd buy it on Amazon. So just use that as food for thought, at least as of July of 2020. That may change, obviously, in the future. I don't know what the future holds, but I know the future holds for me with these pants, just being very happy with them, that they've worked well. And if anything changes on this, I will keep you up to date on that. If you found this video useful and interesting, give it a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.